Welcome back to the deep dive. Every now and then a book comes along that just flips your perspective on something you thought you understood. Today we're doing a deep dive into one of those Mendries, a book that promises to completely redefine how you think about your money and, crucially, your time. It's Your Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin and Joe Dominguez. We're pulling all our insights from a comprehensive review to give you, well, the fastest path to its core wisdom.
That's right. And this isn't just, a standard personal finance guide. It's really more of a philosophy. Philosophy for living a more intentional, meaningful life and achieving genuine financial freedom. Our goal with this deep dive is basically to pull out the absolute core wisdom and the most practical steps so you can quickly get the essence, see if this path resonates and figure out how it might apply to your own life without getting bogged down in every single detail.
Okay, let's unpack this then.
Yeah.
When you say it's a philosophy for life, what's the fundamental shift? What makes it so different from, say, your typical guide to budgeting or investing?
Well, what's really fascinating here is this foundational concept it introduces. Money equals life energy. The book radically reframes money. It's not just numbers in a bank account, right? It's a direct representation of your time, your effort, your life energy that you spent earning it. And then it asks this really challenging question. Is what you're spending really worth the hours of your life you actually traded for it?
Wow, that's a powerful reframe. I'm already thinking about that coffee I bought this morning. Was that truly worth, maybe 3 minutes of my life energy? Should I start calculating that? But let's be honest, for a lot of people, money just feels like numbers in the bank. How does the book help you actually internalize that idea? Go beyond just, understanding it intellectually? Because a great idea is one thing, but how do you actually do it?
Right, that's the key point. And the book shifts from the philosophy to the action through a pretty detailed 9-step program. It's a comprehensive step-by-step plan. It's designed to help you meticulously track your income and expenses, really cut down on unnecessary spending, and eventually work towards true financial independence. Some key steps include calculating your real hourly wage. This is where that life energy concept becomes incredibly tangible, really concrete. You might think you earn X amount per hour, but once you factor in commuting, maybe work clothes, the time you need to decompress after a stressful day, well, that number often drops, sometimes dramatically.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. And then there's this idea of a monthly wall chart, right? In an age of digital budgeting apps everywhere, that sounds, a bit quaint, maybe even tedious. Does the book explain why that specific sort of analog method is so important? Or is it just a legacy thing from when it was first written?
Yeah, that's an important question, especially for modern readers. And while it might feel outdated or tedious, if you're used to apps, the authors really emphasize the physical, tactile connection it creates. It's kind of hard to ignore a giant chart staring at you from your kitchen wall, isn't it? Not like a hidden app icon. It gives you this constant visual reminder of your progress. And the ultimate practical goal within this whole program, it's achieving what they call the crossover point, which they define pretty clearly. It's that moment when your investment income actually covers all your living expenses, meaning effectively you don't need to work for money anymore.
Right, the freedom point. So beyond just tracking the numbers and hitting that crossover point, it sounds like there's a deeper psychological shift going on because money habits, they often come from deeper places than just calculations, don't they? Does the book get into the psychology of spending? Like, how do you actually change the impulse to buy rather than just, tallying up the bill afterwards?
Exactly. And this is where mindful spending comes in. It's really about evaluating every single purchase, not with judgment, but with intention. The book urges you to just pause and ask yourself, with every spending decision, does this truly align with my values? That simple question promotes, conscious consumption instead of just impulsive buying. And it's really not about deprivation. It's about intentionality, making choices that genuinely serve your deeper purpose and bring you, lasting satisfaction.
Okay, so putting it all together, what does this mean for the listener? The ultimate goal isn't just about retiring early, is it? It sounds like it's aiming for something bigger.
You've absolutely hit on it. The ultimate aim is what they call financial integrity and independence. It's about living freely, purposefully, unburdened by debt or that incessant need to just work endlessly for money. It clarifies that the true goal isn't merely about getting rich, like in a material sense, but about living richly and meaningfully, living in alignment with your deepest values, and having your financial life actually reflect who you are and what you care about.
We've covered the core ideas, but honestly, there are so many financial books out there, stacks of them. What makes Your Money or Your Life stand out? Why is it different enough to warrant this kind of deep dive? What's its unique selling point, would you say?
Yeah, that's fair. I think what stands out is its holistic approach. Unlike so many books that just focus on investing strategies or budgeting tactics, this one really gets into the psychology, the emotions, the habits, even your overall life purpose. It asks you to look at the whole ecosystem of your relationship with money. Plus, it has this incredibly timeless message. I mean, even though it was first published way back in 1992, updated in 2018, but still, its core philosophy feels incredibly relevant, maybe even more relevant in today's super consumer driven culture. And it's also just profoundly empowering. It really encourages self awareness, simplicity, intentional living. It goes way beyond just building wealth, it's about how you actually live your life.
Okay, so if someone's listening right now and thinking, huh, this sounds like exactly what I need, who is this book really for? Who's the ideal reader for this kind of philosophy?
Well, thinking about the bigger picture, this book is particularly powerful for people who feel like they're just, drowning in spending habits or consumer debt, people who are tired of that cycle. It's also, I'd say, an absolute must read for anyone seriously looking at early retirement or anyone interested in the whole FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early. This book provides a lot of the philosophical backbone for that. And crucially, it's for any reader who's genuinely ready to rethink their life priorities, not just their bank balance, someone willing to actually put in the work to make those changes.
Right. But of course, no approach is perfect for everyone. Are there nuances, aspects that might not click with everybody?
Oh, definitely. And that raises an important point about, well, practicality for some modern readers. As we touched on some of the steps, like that really detailed monthly wall chart, yeah, that might feel a bit outdated or just tedious if you're very digitally oriented. It demands a level of manual engagement that just isn't for everyone these days. Also, if you're really just looking for like quick money hacks or high level investment strategies to get rich fast, this book might feel a bit too philosophical, maybe too slow. It has a pretty minimal focus on advanced investing techniques. It's much more centered on the foundations, saving, mindful spending, and those fundamental lifestyle shifts.
Okay, let's bring it back to a powerful thought, maybe a quote directly from the book itself that really sums up its core message.
Yeah, there's a very famous line. It states, money is something you trade your life energy for. You sell your time for it. So be careful how you spend both.
Hmm. Be careful how you spend both. And there you have it. Your money or your life really does sound like a profound guide. For anyone looking to reclaim some control over their time, their money, and maybe their overall purpose, it's a call to really examine your values and align your spending and your earning with them.
Absolutely. Our verdict is pretty clear. It's not just about getting rich, it's about living richly and meaningfully. It truly is described by many as a life-changing manual. And yeah, a must read if you're serious about long-term financial freedom and integrity.
So, a final thought for you to consider, building on that life energy concept, after hearing all this, thinking about money as life energy. What's maybe one area of your spending, or perhaps even your work, where you might be unconsciously trading significant life energy for something that doesn't deeply align with your values?
Yeah.
And maybe, what's one small intentional shift you could perhaps make starting today to begin reclaiming that energy for what truly matters to you? Something to think about.